have you ever stopped to wonder what really motivates your team? I mean, beyond just a bigger paycheck. Well, today we're going to dive into that huge question, and we're going to look at a classic psychological theory that might just change the way you think about leading forever.
You know the story. We've all seen it happen, right? You've got this amazing person on your team. They're paid well. Everything on the surface seems great. And then, boom, they hand in their resignation. It's a puzzle that leaves so many leaders just scratching their heads.
So the key to solving this whole puzzle, it's not in more perks or a fancier coffee machine. Nope. The answer is actually hidden inside a powerful psychological theory, one that completely flips our common assumptions about job satisfaction on their head.
Let's go back in time a bit. A psychologist named Frederick Herzberg did some really groundbreaking research. He went around and asked people a pretty simple question. What makes you feel good about your job, and what makes you feel bad? And you know what? The answers he got were not what anyone expected. And they're just as important today as they were back then. See, what Herzberg found really challenges one of our most basic beliefs about what makes people happy at work. It's kind of a mind bender, honestly, so let's break it down together. Okay, this right here is the absolute core of Herzberg's theory, and this is the part that will really shift your perspective. We all tend to think that job satisfaction and dissatisfaction are just two ends of the same stick, right? If you're not dissatisfied, you must be satisfied. But Herzberg found out that's totally wrong. The opposite of being satisfied with your job isn't being dissatisfied. It's just not being satisfied. They are two completely separate things on two different scales. So, Herzberg figured out that there are two totally different sets of factors that influence these separate scales. He gave them some interesting names: hygiene factors and motivators. And believe me, understanding the difference between them is the whole game. So first up, we have hygiene factors. Now think of these like the basic plumbing or the Wi-Fi in your house. When it's working perfectly, you don't really notice it. You're not waking up every day thrilled that the water is running. But when it breaks, oh man, it creates a huge mess and you are miserable. That's what these factors are. They don't make you love your job, they just stop you from hating it. And these include all the stuff you'd expect: a fair salary, company policies that make sense, job security, basic working conditions, the essentials. If any of these are missing or feel unfair, you are absolutely going to have a dissatisfied team. But here's the kicker. Fixing them only brings people to a neutral point, a state of no dissatisfaction. It doesn't create passion. It doesn't make anyone jump out of bed in the morning. So, where does that passion come from? Well, that's where the motivators come into play. These are the things that tap into our deeper human psychological needs, our need for growth, for fulfillment. And these, my friends, are the real secret to unlocking genuine engagement and high performance. Just look at this list: feeling a real sense of achievement, being recognized for your hard work, knowing that the stuff you do all day is actually meaningful, being trusted with real responsibility, and seeing a clear path for you to grow. These are the things that make people truly excited to come to work. And this right here is the main takeaway. You can have all your hygiene factors perfectly in place: great salary, great benefits, the works. But if those motivators are missing, if an employee feels like their work just doesn't matter, or that nobody even notices their effort, they are still going to start looking for the exit. It's that simple. Okay, so this is a really cool theory, right? But what do you actually do with it? How do you use it in the real world? Let's get practical and move to a simple, actionable playbook for any manager or team lead out there. It's really a 3-step process, and you've got to do it in this order. It's crucial. First, you have to plug the holes. You have to address all those hygiene issues: fair pay, clear policies, all the basics. That gets everybody to a neutral starting line. Then, and only then, can you start building true satisfaction by layering in those powerful motivators like recognition and ownership. And the final critical step is to tie it all together by constantly showing people how their day-to-day work connects to a larger, meaningful purpose. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. Look at a real-world company like Adobe. They got rid of their dreaded annual reviews, which, let's be honest, is a classic hygiene factor that's often focused on problems. And they replaced them with regular check-ins that were all about coaching and development. That one simple shift introduced powerful motivators like constant recognition and a clear focus on growth. And the result? It had a huge positive impact on their employee engagement. It really works. So, let's bring this all home. As a leader, really getting Herzberg's theory fundamentally changes your job description. You're not just a manager of tasks anymore. You're the creator of a motivating environment. If you remember one thing from all this, let it be this simple, powerful idea. Perks prevent problems, but purpose is what drives performance. That salary, those benefits, they're just there to keep people from being unhappy. But it's that sense of purpose, of recognition, of meaning, that's what will truly drive incredible performance and create loyalty.
And that kind of leaves us with this final thought. Your job isn't just to be a problem solver, constantly putting out fires. It's to be an architect of meaning. When you start focusing on building people up, recognizing their effort, and empowering their growth, you're not just preventing them from quitting. You're creating an environment where they genuinely want to stay, to contribute, and to thrive.